All right, so I'm out on a walk here in Sacramento. I'm just out in the neighborhood, just walking around. It's the first time I've done this here, and I've had these buses parked here for literally years. So today's the day, and I want to kind of share what else this day is, because this is a day that I moved the buses off of Jack's property. Today's the day that Jack's property graduates these buses. These buses graduate Jack's property. So, what does this mean? They've been kind of an incubation place and a space where I could work on them, I could get them ready, I could basically have them kind of like ready to move, ready to run, ready to go places and, work on them and do stuff. And I did to an extent, but not to the extent that I would have liked. Now I'm looking back in hindsight. And, hindsight is always 20/20. And the reality is, I would have liked to have had these buses set up so they are running, driving, reliable, that they're built inside with living quarters, sleeping spaces, that they are registered, insured, they're making money ideally, and they can go kind of wherever they need to go. And so realizing that I've had that opportunity and that possibility has been available to me for the years that I've had them, now it's a matter of saying, well, what do I really do to get this stuff put into gear? And this is an important part of the destiny engineering that I think is so necessary and that I'm willing to step up to in my life. The destiny engineering strategy of this, I think, looks like me taking time from things in my day that I'm doing now that are less productive and turning them to things that are more productive. And it's as simple as that. I think the very first thing that comes up for me as far as an activity where I could take time from and put towards something else is scrolling Instagram and social media. Scrolling social media, I think, would be a place that I could easily take time from. Whenever I notice myself wanting to scroll or scrolling, find myself there, I can just take time from it and say, okay, wait, instead of doing this, what can I do instead? Or I could vacuum the floors. Or I could clean up the space somehow, right? I could organize the space that I'm occupying at this moment. What would I do to do that? Now, typically, I think I find myself into some of the biggest scrolling mishaps on social media and watching endless videos. Because I'm in I just built a lot of things. I just did a lot of things. I did a lot of hard labor, physical labor. And I'm kind of refueling my body, my mind with new things. Now, I guess if this was a rest activity, right? And it was okay, I just did 8 hours or something, many hours, or maybe an intense hour. I did an hour of power with organizing a space or working on contracts or anything at all like this. And I need to refuel my mind, and that's, I think, what speaks to me most about why I end up scrolling. I could feel it with other stuff rather than just Instagram bullshit. I could be listening to Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich would be one of the most basic and essential things I could be listening to on demand. So anything with Napoleon Hill or Tony Robbins or anybody, Lessons in Greatness of any kind, I think these are the things that Andrew Huberman, Joe Rogan, doesn't matter, anybody who specializes in sharing knowledge, specialized knowledge. I should definitely watch, I should definitely listen to, I should definitely absorb and put to use and put to action, even if I don't know what to do with it yet. I should take notes of at least one thing that I could put to action when I am watching or listening to this kind of, audio or visual nutritional content. So, with that in mind, and depending on how well you can see me, because of the low light, dynamics of this video, maybe, I watch my own stuff too. Maybe I make this into a YouTube video and I teach myself these kind of things. I watch my own content. Wouldn't that be a thing? Wouldn't that be a miracle if I became my own best teacher? So I think that's the reality of it. I'm probably better off prescribing myself my own medicine and creating a feedback loop of discovering what works and what doesn't work and adjusting it as I go along. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it starts with this video, and it starts with this video that I do every day for at least 11 minutes and 11 seconds at a time, anywhere in the world. It's every single day. It's a journal entry for 11 minutes, 11 seconds every single day. That is worth investing into. And it's me coming up with my best ideas on how to invest into my life and engineer a destiny, a destination of life, a series of destinations of life from where I am, with what I know and what I have now. My name is Skylar Brandon Jensen, and I'm a powerful, loving, inspiring, enthusiastic man of light. My purpose is to lovingly serve humanity. Through being a courageous, clear, and honest man of light, I create harmony, clarity, peace, power, and wisdom within every individual and collective consciousness. And so it is. And the honest part really strikes with me, because there's parts of my life that I'm consistently not honest about. I want to change that. I want to change the story of that. I'm fine in being honest about the story of my entrepreneurial successes. I guess there's been some successes. There's been a lot of failures. There's definitely been a lot more failures than there have been successes, and that's the way it goes. So I feel a lot more like a failure when it comes to entrepreneurial stuff. And maybe that's how other entrepreneurs feel. I don't know. But what it really comes down to is not giving up. I'm not willing to give up. I'm still youthful. I'm 39 years old, almost 40, and I've got the whole world ahead of me. Don't I? I think it's about time that I fully adopt and realize that script, because you do. No matter what age you are, you have your whole life ahead of you. And it's just about when you're able to adopt empowering scripts and strategies into your life. You can be born with them and surrounded with them all your life and downplay them and never use them and undermine them, therefore undermining your own best interests and the best interests of others and your own reason why you're here on earth and embodied. Or you can just decide to embrace everything that you've experienced, that you have available to you, that you've been told, that you know, that you wish you knew, that you didn't have. Everything you can think of can be a resource for you for how to create it, no matter what you've experienced in your life up to this point. You can choose to do anything that you can manage to think about and bring about. So it's all up to you. And the mindset is a big part of it. It is the bridge into, let me put it this way. It is a major limiting factor. And if you don't recognize the limiting factor of the mind and then adjust it to operate in your favor, well, then, it just continues to be the limitation. So at what point do you decide to align your mind and let it support the alignments in every other aspect of your life? That's what it does. That's why the mindset is so hard. It's so hard to change your mind about something until you realize where the keyboard is, because you can just write a new script. You can make a new code. And it's really that simple. Write a new script, create a new code, tell yourself a new story, and then just allow yourself to feel it and integrate it and repeat it to yourself, to other people. And this is how you actually integrate the new beliefs, the new values, the new rules that become your mindset. Simple as that. Because when you integrate new beliefs, values, and rules, you then start to meet your own needs in new ways. And if you set the criteria of how you meet your needs in new ways, that you operate in your own best interests more consistently, well, then you find a way for how to navigate towards that destiny. And you also can choose what it could look like in very specific ways. It could look physical, about how your weight or your health is. It could look financial, in how much money you make or how much money you keep, how much value you hold and distribute and manage. It could look like your relationships. It could look like any kind of relationship, right? It could be an intimate relationship. It could be a relationship with your friends or your family, your loved ones, your colleagues, complete strangers, right? People you've never met before. Because that's how every relationship starts, right? If you don't start off on the right foot with a stranger, how are you going to start off? You're not going to keep going in what could have been a business partner or an intimate partner or some really meaningful relationship. So how you treat strangers says a lot about you and the quality of your life that you're willing to create and settle for. It's kind of a big deal. So, creating a creation statement, I think, is one of the best tools to help anchor this personal reality before it has anything to do with anybody else. Before you get wrapped up in some relationship, I think you deserve to invest into yourself. And one of the simplest and best ways to do this is by utilizing what I call a creation statement. So, I'm a little bit beyond the 11-minute and 11-second mode, and that's okay. I think it can be at least 11 minutes, 11 seconds, because I certainly wish to give my arm a break at this point. But I want to also talk about and finish this thought with a creation statement, because it is that important. It is that crucial to, the whole trajectory of all this. And it is the first place that anybody can start anywhere with what they have to know, okay? Because you don't need another person to do this. You don't need money to do this. You don't need anything other than what you already have, which is either a phone to take notes on a notepad or a pen and paper, which is pretty much globally accessible. Anywhere in the world, pretty much, especially if you're watching this video, you have access to a pen and paper, right? It only matters if you have less excuses than you do pieces of pens and paper, right? To be able to take notes with. And here's what a creation statement is and how to be able to write one. First of all, you're going to create a space and setting to be able to intend to deliver this creation statement in a meaningful way. Now, you can take multiple sessions. I think, sometimes what you might need to do, I think it's worth investing the time and energy and resource into your life to be able to discover these words that are true for you. But it happens in 5 parts. There's 5 parts to a creation statement. Like there's 5 fingers in your hand. There's 5 parts to a creation statement, and here's what they are. Number 1, it's stating your name. Okay, stating your identity. My name is. My name is Skylar Brandon Jensen, right? You say your full birth given name. full birth given name. The reason why you say your full birth given name is because you are indeed that person that you were given that birth name. Okay? If you start with your first birth given name, you will discover, right, regardless how you feel about it, you will discover something that's been waiting for you since birth. This is a very important process. No matter how you feel about your full birth given name, you use it and you write it down. You do this. And you say, I am a, this is the part 2. After part 1, your full birth given name, you say, I am a, right? You are describing who you believe you are. And you use 3 to 4 emotionally empowering words to be able to do this. Now, at first, you might be like, that word sounds too powerful. That word sounds too meaningful. You might actually subconsciously averse from the words that you really should find and write down. So you may have to play a little bit of a game with yourself to be able to actually discover what these emotionally empowering words are. Maybe you know exactly what they are. Maybe you have to play a little bit of a game with yourself and write for the wastebasket with a bunch of guesses, right? But they have to feel empowering. They usually are something that you, when you first write them down and say them, they feel like you have to like, whoa, that's so big. How do I live up to that? It's kind of like how do I live up to that kind of a feeling? For me, when I started saying, I am a powerful, I was like, whoa, am I, like that felt like too grand. It felt too powerful. It felt too powerful. That's all you can use to describe it. It's like there are these source words that call you out and call you up, okay? And you have to be able to find these source words that are true for you. So 3 to 4 of these, for me, it was, I am a powerful, loving, inspiring, enthusiastic man of light. Now, I found those 4 words because they all, like I got into the mythos of what they meant. I got into the etymology of these words and what they meant. And I said, those are the 4 best words I can use to describe myself that feel good. They feel empowering. They feel like they rise me up. They feel like they call me out. I feel like they give me a standard to live up to. And they do. And so that's the second part of it. I am 3 to 4 empowering, emotionally empowering words. My purpose is the third part. Your purpose is something in reference, by the way, all this is in reference to your soul's mission. It's reaching beyond what you physically, it is congruent with what you physically, mentally, and emotionally are doing, but it is summoning you, the spirit that is embodied in this lifetime, and it is discerning the source code, let's call it, of who you are, why you're here, how you do what you do. And that's really what it's about. So, I am is followed up by my purpose is. My purpose is to lovingly serve humanity. Those words for me, I couldn't find any more simple and descriptive words than those. And so I wrote them down, and that's what became part of my creation statement. The fourth part is how you do what you do. And for me, through being a courageous and clear and honest man of light, I create harmony, clarity, peace, power, and wisdom within every individual and collective consciousness. That is what I create. That is what I do. That is a lot of what it, translates to looking like. And so that is the fourth part. The fifth part is an affirmation. It is a confirmation. It is a setting forth your intentions and your clarity around this statement. The fifth part is by saying, and so it is. It is a declaration. It is a planting of the flag that officiates the ceremony of speaking your creation statement into reality so that it can become the reality integrated into your nervous system. So with repetitions, of course, it's about speaking and saying and doing this as you need it, as it's helpful, as it's supportive, as you can remember to, right? It's about integrating this into your nervous system and letting it work for you. It's about letting it become a unconscious and subconscious reality of your life. This is such an imperative aspect of who you are, why you're here, how you do what you do, that you deserve to be able to invest into this with yourself at every given opportunity, okay? Because this is something that determines who you show up as, right? When you know who you are, why you're here, how you do what you do, you then bring that to every relationship of your life. You bring that to every business endeavor and money-making activity. You bring that to every aspect of your purpose and every aspect of your life, because it's you're investing into, and the dividends keep on paying out. So give yourself this opportunity to be able to invest into yourself right now by taking some notes. I would say the top lessons from this video, the top super summary that I can think of right at the top of my head. 1, a creation statement in those 5 parts. 2, looking for places where you can swap time that's unresourcefully spent, or time, let's just say it this way, time that's spent for time that you can invest. That's a big deal. So finding time that time that you're spending now and turning it into time that you can invest is huge. So make sure you write those down. Write down the top 3 ways that you're spending time right now that you could be investing. Write those down. And then take daily actions. Write daily actions of when you notice yourself doing, when you notice yourself spending time. Have a replacement ready for how you could invest it. For me, like by example, whenever I find myself scrolling on social media or playing chess, right? Immediately I could flip to one of my own videos and teach myself something. I could listen to Think and Grow Rich. I could listen to something that helps me reinforce something good for me. So that's what I'm gonna do. How we nourish our minds is ultimately going to be determining what actions we take. So take a walk. I think that's another thing too. Get more physical exercise. Give yourself more physical exercise. For me, it looked like taking a walk. I just walked around the block and made this video. So I can do that kind of anywhere too. I can take a walk and invest into myself for at least 11 minutes and 11 seconds a day with a video, and then post it to YouTube in my channel. And that's how I end up teaching myself and reinforcing things. So that's what I got. That's what I'm going to end the video on. Thanks for tuning in. I'm almost back over to the house here on Winding Way in Sacramento. And yeah, this is useful. Thank you so much, Sky, for taking the time to do this. May this investment of time return you all the riches of life, that you may contribute forward as is in accordance with your highest and best interests. Thank you so much, Sky Jensen. Acceleration. Bye for now.